My name is Alister Haythornthwaite. I live in Duncan and I work in Victoria, and I was very pleased to get the email this morning to have some way to come and show our disgust both with our government and with Israeli policies. My family and I had already donated about $800 towards this flotilla, so you could say I've got some skin in the game here too. But I just want to go back to the question of Israel. You know, and over time, the truth comes out over time. In 1948, there was a lot of confusion about what Israel would become, and obviously people had suffered a lot during the war in Europe. But in 1967, Israel conquered a large amount of area: the West Bank, Gaza, Sinai, and the Golan Heights. Sinai was returned to Egypt, but they've continued to hold on to the West Bank and Gaza. Now the point here is 1967 is how many years ago? Is that 53 years ago? 43 years ago. 43 years to normalize the situation. If a country gets into a war and occupies the territory of another country, they have to come to terms. If Israel had come to terms in 5 years or 10 years, then it would have just been a footnote in history. But obviously their intent is not to release this land, but to seize it, to dispossess and remove the population. And they've cut the West Bank into 100 little prisons surrounded by one giant prison. Gaza, they were no longer tenable for them to remain there directly, so they put a wall around it, the biggest open-air prison in the world. The disgusting complicity of Western governments in this outrageous act that, you know, the Nuremberg trials were supposed to set a precedent about what states could and couldn't do. And yet here we are with Harper and many other influential Canadians standing up and defending Israel, defending the most undefendable acts, whether it was the attack on Lebanon a few years ago, the siege of Gaza, where an unarmed prison population are attacked by modern weapons, and now an attack in international waters on foreign flag vessels. I will point out that the only way you're allowed to board a vessel under international law outside in international waters is with the permission of the state with which the ship is registered. And I'll be very surprised to find out that Turkey gave their permission. These ships were anchored 65 kilometers off the coast of Israel. Yes, it was a protest. Yes, it showed what Israel was and what Israel was doing in Gaza, but there's no justification whatsoever for live fire in any situation like this. And I just stand here, myself and my family condemn this act entirely, and we condemn the government of Harper for being complicit and making excuses for Israel. And thank you very much.